Hello, I see people starting to connect. Welcome in. We do have a great presentation for you today. We have a few minutes before we're going to get started, but I appreciate your patience. Going to give some people time to connect. Um, the chat and Q&A function should be available to everyone if you'd like to use it. But yeah, we have a few more minutes, so just sit tight and we'll get started soon. All right, it's 12 o'clock. I see people are still connecting, so just another minute or so, and we'll kick it off. Thank you. All right, that should be enough time. Let's get things started. Hello, everyone. My name is William Mucker. I'm a client executive with Camaplan, and I would like to thank you all for joining us for today's webinar, Unlocking Passive Profits, Investing in America's Hottest Market with Dylan DeBellis of Strategic Passive Investments. As a quick note, please be aware that Dylan will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. However, feel free to use the chat and or Q&A function on your screen to pose your questions whenever they cross your mind. They will be saved and addressed once the presentation portion ends and the Q&A portion begins. Before we get started, we do have a brief disclosure to go through. Everything presented in today's webinar is strictly for educational purposes. Camaplan is a neutral third-party administrator of IRAs. We are not attorneys, CPAs, or financial advisors. If it comes to a time where you need advice in any one of those fields, we highly recommend you consult with your team of professionals. We're more than happy to be a part of the dialogue with your team of professionals to make sure the investment process is quick and seamless. We do not sell any investments at Camaplan, nor do we endorse any products. We will never call you about the next best investment opportunity. We believe that you should always do your own due diligence before investing your money, whether it be your retirement funds or otherwise. Once you have found the investment that is right for you, we will help open your account, fund that account, and facilitate the transaction into that investment. Here is my contact information if you or anyone that you know who you believe can benefit from the information have any questions about what is discussed in the presentation today and how it applies to self-direction, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would be more than happy to help. And without further ado, I'll pass the controls over to you, Dylan.
Great. Thank you very much, William.
Absolutely.
All right, let me just share my screen here. Okay, so like William said, my name is Dylan DeBellis with Strategic Passive Investments. We're a full-service investment group that mainly focuses on fix and flip investments, but a lot of other facets in the real estate investment genre, from short-term buy and holds to fractional ownerships of larger historical mansions. And today, basically, we're talking about some of the avenues that you can get into, as well as what to look for in thriving and upcoming markets. So a little bit fun fact here, only 13% of Americans know that they can take control of their retirement savings. And this is utilizing self-directed IRAs, which I'm assuming most of you guys, if you're on this call, you are one of those 13%. But a lot of Americans don't leverage this avenue. And we kind of find it shocking, as if you are a self-directed IRA holder, you understand the flexibility that it comes with. So I just thought that was an interesting fact. What you can invest with your self-directed IRA, and this is not all of them, obviously, but this is a tidbit of them. Real estate, private funds, startups and small businesses, crypto, and a bunch of other items. I heard of some people, one of the webinars we did with a recent custodian, there was an investment in goats, and that was some way they made a small business out of investing in goats. So it's very flexible. So who we are, Strategic Passive Investments has over 30 million in transactions over the last 24 months and over 90 million in the last 5 years. We help investors remain passive. That's kind of our whole thing. It's in the name. So we strive for the passive and not the active investor. We like to say we handle everything from acquisition and liquidation. We feel like investment and using your retirement funds shouldn't be a brand new full-time job. So we kind of help our investors kind of connect everything together. We've been conservative and consistently producing double-digit returns, and we're always very transparent in the nature of what we do and how we do it. Some of the items that we touch, like I said, we're heavy real estate. So mainly fix and flips. We have tax liens and tax deeds, turnkey buy and holds. We offer private lending, fractional ownerships in those mansions, historical mansions. And then we also do oil and gas or energy. The oil and gas is basically flipping the oil and gas wells and then making sure they're producing and then offloading them. So it's still somewhat of a fix and flip, if you will. So what we've and we have data to back this up. What we find that America's hottest growing market is Savannah, Georgia. It's currently, I believe, third in the nation and on pace to be the highest growing region in the area after the port expansion, which we'll touch base on as well. Why we think it's America's hottest market, we'll get into. Here are two areas in the Savannah, Georgia market, and they've received 132% in the last 4 years in appreciation. These maps are properties that we own. The green ones, they are properties that we have completed in a fix and flip process. The yellow ones are currently being worked on, and the red ones are just acquired. As you see, this is about a 5-mile radius, each one of these maps. So we have a lot of skin in the game. And what we like to say, it's like power in numbers. So we kind of control the market when we list five or six properties at a time. If the going rate is 200,000 and we list 4 properties at 220, the new going rate for that market demographic is 220 because there's so many comps on the market saying this. So we kind of control what comps are in the area just by volume alone. Home values have increased since 2022, 29.1% in 2022, and in 2023, 19.6. It's a heavy appreciation market. Why other markets are kind of plateauing off, our home values just keep increasing in Savannah, Georgia. And the beauty of it is rents in Savannah, they go up. Let me just minimize that. Rents in Savannah neighborhoods have grown up to about 42% in the last 4 years, and 33% in the last 36 months, and more than half of dwellings or housing is due to renters. And this number, 52%, is probably going to actually increase. So it's a really high rental market, and that's due to just a lot of turnover, a lot of vacation, a lot of food and beverage, and a lot of tourism. We're going to go into a lot more of that in a couple slides here. So why is Savannah so hot? And it's all about the infrastructure. Here we have Savannah College of Art and Design. May sound like a smaller school, but it's actually has a couple campuses worldwide. I believe one in Tokyo, one in La Crosse, France. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in Savannah. So this is a map of Savannah. All the green squares are what they call squares. They're little parks. All the yellow dots are Savannah, the SCAD building, Savannah College Art and Design. So their campus is the city. So it's kind of they pick older buildings out, older mills, and they basically fix and flip on the commercial side, turning them into dorms, turning them into staff buildings or classrooms. And then what we like to do is we kind of follow them. Where you see these yellow squares, we try to pop up and get some residential there. So, the staff buildings, we try to, produce housing for the staff or off-campus dorms for the students or whatnot. But the entire city is basically the campus of Savannah. As you walk through, if you've ever been to Savannah, you'll see SCAD signs all over the city. And they are the reason why Savannah is probably doing, or one of the major reasons why Savannah is doing so well. They've put a lot of money into these old buildings, and they've kept a lot of the charm of the city. So it's really nice to see a lot of these older buildings converted into newer school buildings. The port, one of the major reasons why the economy of Savannah does so well is we have a port, which actually it's on pace for the 4th year in a row, but Savannah has moved more shipping containers through its port than any other port in the country, and that's by volume. And we're actually in a port expansion, which is projected in the next 5 years to increase employment for that port by 36%, I believe. So they're having a massive port expansion, and we're already on pace to be #1 again. When we complete this port expansion, we'll have so many more areas for ships to come in. We'll have more employment, and what more employment does is creates more need for housing. And most of the people that work at the port, one or two, either renters or first-time home buyers, and we cater to both of those demographics. We have Gulfstream headquarters here, and they just opened or they just developed another air hangar for Gulfstream. So the Gulfstream headquarters is here. We have JCB, which produces basically like Caterpillar type devices for commercial, but as well as for military. So these, right when you go over the bridge in Savannah, you can look to the right, and this is parked waiting for the port and to be shipped all over the world. Usually the green ones right there, that might be commercial ones, but that might be military devices as well. So they provide heavy lifting and Caterpillar style machinery to like I said, commercial, but as well as the military. So we have their headquarters is here, the North American headquarters. Amazon, 600,000 square foot fulfillment center in 2022. This was huge news because Amazon is obviously one of the leading companies in the world. They don't build where it's not going to be successful. So they do tremendous amount of research and data, and they definitely pick areas where they feel confident that that demographic is going to be it does well there. And 600,000 square feet fulfillment center, this creates massive employment. And again, just like the port expansion, Amazon bringing in that many new jobs, what does that create? It creates a need for a rental market. It creates a need for first-time home buyers. There's a ribbon ceremony for that. One of the things to look for in picking out markets that are expanding or markets that are going to last through hard times are things that you know that won't fail. Amazon won't fail. The other items, SCAD, that won't fail. And these two military bases that we have in Savannah, Georgia, that's something that will never fail. So we have two military bases that's right in our city. We have Hunter Airfield, and then we also have Fort Stewart. So a lot of times what happens is the military, they train here. They either get full-time jobs here then and move off of base. So that's first-time home buyers. And then also some of the family comes in and moves here, and they're first-time home buyers or renters as well. So like I said, when you're trying to do some research on markets that will never fail or can't fail or have a very hard time failing, military bases are a huge sign that the government is obviously going to pump money into this and not allow things like this to fail. This was huge. Hyundai announced the 5.54 billion investment into an electrical vehicle factory. This was, I believe, 2023, and what it is I believe it was the largest, or to date still is the largest investment into the economy in the entire state of Georgia and forever. So this was huge. They're developing as we speak, and this is going to create massive jobs. And again, massive jobs creates the need for housing. So this is right on our outskirts of Savannah, Georgia. And like I said, the largest economical investment in Georgia, the state of Georgia, not just Savannah. One of our hugest factors of how an area is doing, as well as how the tourism is doing. Savannah, Georgia, #4 best city in the last 12 years, for 12 years running. We have a bunch of accolades as far as peer reviews. This is from Condé Nast. We also have Forbes, best places to retire, best small cities, best southern cities. There's a lot of different publications that has said that Savannah is the place to go for many different reasons. And tourism is one of the larger areas, which creates a high turnover rate for food and beverage workers or the smaller shops. And this high turnover rate, this produces that 52% of renters that we were talking about earlier. And food and beverage has a high turnover rate. So we're seeing people come in and leave as far as people that work here. And then also this tourism creates a really robust short-term rentals. In Savannah, we have certificates for our short-term rental Airbnbs, and it's pretty hard to get some of these short-term rental certificates. You have to have 3 years skin in the game or the owner live on the property. So these certificates are worth their weight in gold kind of thing. Savannah, Georgia is ranks globally on film industry. So again, we're talking about things and reasons why demographic areas won't fail. This is one huge factor. Savannah, Georgia actually produces more films than Hollywood recently, and Georgia alone, Atlanta has massive studios, probably more than Savannah, Atlanta does, but Savannah is very close behind. And it's due to the ambiance, it's due to the old oak trees, a lot of water. It's not just Forrest Gump that was filmed here. We have, if you after this presentation, Google films or TV that's filmed in Savannah, Georgia in the last 2 years, I think we have 250 different things that you probably already watched. The cartoon SpongeBob was filmed here because they go into real world. Baywatch, there's a lot of Netflix films and documentaries filmed here. Maybe a couple months ago, maybe it was last year, I'm driving down the middle of Savannah, and I'm in the city, and there's a whole like 1 or 2 blocks that are roped off, film crews everywhere, trucks everywhere, and the entire streets are paved in dirt. And there's a bunch of horses walking around and stuff. So it's like an old Western that was shot here. But it's just really cool to see while you drive by and see all these film crews and stuff. This creates a need for not necessarily short-term rentals and not necessarily for rentals, but these film crews come in and they need something along the lines of corporate housing, which, you know, it might have a 6-month or a year lease. And we cater to that as well. And we'll talk about an opportunity we have for that. So this is what we get into, mainly our fix and flips. So we're just going to go over a few examples of what we have and kind of how we do it, and just to give you guys some examples of where we're at. So that's one of the properties that we bought. This is the in the right here is how it looked. This is what we turned it into. We don't go crazy, obviously, high-end fixtures. We stay in the medium, the middle, and we love red doors. It makes it pop, we think. So here's a look at the inside. Beautiful brown cabinets prior to what we got. You see the stove here, nice and brown. We convert everything to modern, nice and white. All of our walls have agreeable gray on them. Stainless steel appliances. This beautiful green, or maybe it's green, or maybe it just ended up as green. I don't know. But we convert that all into some vinyl flooring. Everything is kind of the same. We're consistent throughout the process. Bathroom. We spend a little bit more time, a little bit more money in bathrooms and kitchens. As everyone knows, that's in real estate. That's the big selling items. Tile floors, tile walls. This is a garage in the back. As you can see, we converted that into a mother-in-law suite, or a little vacation rental, or a rental, if you will. This is what it looked like on the inside. This is what we converted it to. That red square right there, rectangle, was where the garage door was. Just finished the wall there, made it into a dining living room area, open concept. Here are the numbers for this property. Due to it being on a self-directed IRA webinar, we don't want to get too salesy on this, but I'm glad to go over everything we do in a numbers wise on a personal phone call or an email if you'd like. Here's another example, another property that we've done, and what we turned it into. Again, red doors. We think it stands out. The same thing, as you see, the pictures are very similar. Vinyl flooring, agreeable gray on the walls, same kind of fixtures, same kind of windows. We do this for the step and repeat, if you will, for a reason. If a contractor has to leave the job or get fired, or for whatever reason gets hurt or anything, we have our other contractors that can pick up. They have the flooring on their trucks. They have the paint in their trucks already. They pick up, and we don't lose time with trying to hire someone new and get them the new paint and stuff. So everything is pretty much step and repeat to a degree. Again, bathrooms, a little bit more time and effort. Kitchens, this one we didn't go granite countertops. We went with butcher block, which we think looks really nice in these middle ranged homes, and it still does the trick. And again, ceiling fixtures, same style. Here's numbers. Like I said, I'll be happy to go over all this stuff on a call if you'd like after this presentation. This one's one of my favorites. So this was on, I believe, Florida Ave. We call it the State Streets. These are, this is one of the areas that was on the map with all those location pings in it. So this is an extreme flip. Pay attention to this picture on the far right here. This is what it looked like. Had to change all the subflooring, a lot of the new framing, new roof, new walls, new structure. We opened it up, made a different layout of the property. It was pretty bad. And to be honest, this isn't even the worst of what we get into. So this is what we converted it into. Beautiful first time resident here. Nice little fence. And like I said, the house that I said to pay attention to, that's this one. So that little cinder block with a foundation, that was it. We converted it into an entire new apartment, which has the same feel, same paint, same floors. So we really did a number on this one. And yes, it was Florida Ave. So we have a project right now. This is going to be very short term. It's a private lending gig. Like I said, we do private lending as well. Basically, you're the private lender, and we borrow the money from you, paying you 16% annualized on your money that comes back in dividend form monthly. It is in the process already of being built. This is not in Savannah, Georgia. This is a project that's on Hilton Head Island. And honestly, I could do a whole nother presentation on Hilton Head Island. If you know about it, you kind of know about it. It's rated #1 island in the continental US, probably 10, 12 years in a row. I'm not going to get into the numbers again, like I said, but know that this exists as a private lending. This is very short term. It's probably going to be 5 months now. And it produces about 16% ROI on your money. And I think we're in the paint phase of this project. So we're probably going to be listing this in the next 4 or 5 months. So it's a very fast turnaround. We also have turnkey buy and holds. Projects that we fixed and flipped already, and they hit the market or are on the market or already have tenants in them. You can get in and start cash flowing right away. So that's the beauty of this. Here's a little bit of a example on what we have. Again, everything is the same color floors or same floor, same color walls, nice bathrooms, nice kitchens. This is a 2-unit. We completely gutted and fixed and flipped that we have on the market. And you can get into this either as a partner or completely by yourself. What we would do is we place a property manager, so you never have to see this property, and it cash flows for you with property management company taking care of everything that needs to happen. And like I said, it just cash flows for you guys. So this is also a very great opportunity for people that like that monthly payout. If you're not into the fix and flip structure, which is obviously tie up your money for 10 to 12 months, because that's normally what a fix and flip takes. Whoops. We get into the Georgia tax deed and tax liens. Just a few example of the tax lien or tax deeds that we get into. It's all based out of Georgia, and Georgia is a penalty paid upon the redemption is 20% of the purchase price. That happens in 1 year or a fraction of 1 year. So if right after the tax sale, which we attend personally, if right after the tax sale we buy it and the homeowner goes and pays the taxes the next day, you receive 20% on the purchase price. So let's go into a little examples here. Here's a small little house. As you see in the red circle here, the taxes that were owed on this was $887. This property sold. This was a real example of a previous tax sale. This property, all the taxes that were due was only $887. This property sold for $60,000, or that's what someone bought the tax deed for. So a penalty of that is 12%, or 20% is $12,000. So the cost to redeem would be $72,000 coming back to you. Here's another one. We look for things that we know or feel very confident in that are gonna basically redeem, or when we take foreclosure of the property, we feel confident that we're gonna have some kind of return on the back end. So this was actually a hotel that was in downtown or midtown. So the property taxes that were due was $76,000. The property, these numbers here, for whatever reason, got a zero at it, so everything should be bumped up. Sold for 4.5 million. Cost to redeem 20,000 was actually or the penalty 20,000 was 900,000. So that would be money coming back to you. So in total, it would be 5.4 coming back to you. Most of the times, these type of tax liens don't last long, and for whatever reason, it was probably an error with their accountant or something in their books. So they're 99% of the time going to pay. So this was a really good deal. If you had the 4.5 to make the property or to buy this tax deed, most likely this was coming back to you in a quarter. So a quick 900,000 in 3 months or 6 months. These are kind of diamonds in the rough, if you will. As I was talking about earlier, we have some historical mansions in the Savannah area. We have 2 properties in the picture. You can see this big one with the pillars, and then you see a property right next to it in the left. We own both of these, and we are currently renovating both of them as we speak. These are fractional ownerships, so we're not looking for someone to purchase the entire thing and then I guess get into it. We kind of allow you guys to get into it at a lower threshold. And the beauty of this is the location. The location is right on Forsyth Park. If you're not familiar with Savannah, Georgia, that's fine. But Forsyth Park is to Savannah what Central Park is to New York. It's the park. It's about 2 or 3 city blocks, and it's right in the heart of Savannah. This is the inside of that one. It's called 808 Drayton. If you look in this picture that you see on the balcony, it's directly across the street from the park. And here's a scale up of a bird's eye view of it. You see this big green area next to the arrow. That is Forsyth Park. As you see, it's huge. The park is huge, takes up a lot of landscape. And here it is a little bit closer. This park has a bunch of events. It has the Jazz Festival, which I think is 32 years running Jazz Festival. It has arts contests. It has arts festivals. It has every week it has the farmers market. So it's a heavily populated area. And what that does is it's really great for short-term vacation rentals and heavy traffic on this street. Here's the beginning of a jazz festival. And here's midday of the jazz festival. This goes on to the late hours. So as you see the yellow arrow, that's where our building is. This big, beautiful brick building, that's called the Hotel Bardot. That is extremely upscale hotel. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is that they actually lease out our parking lot in the back of this building for their valet. So we're currently cash flowing on these properties without even having any tenants or anything in there. So these are our properties and coincide to where the park is again. And some numbers that I will be happy to talk to you guys one-on-one or in an email after the presentation if you want to get into it. Here's a video so you can see I'm across the street in this video. You see the park, and then we'll do a little tour of the project. Parking lot right there in the back. That's the one I'm talking about. That's the one that the Hotel Bardot is leasing. A lot of this old Savannah brick. This is the ground floor. There's actually a fire in this project. prior to us buying it. Once we opened it up, we had to change some of the studs and some of the floor joists, which all has since been done. All the historical permits and plans have been approved, so we are full steam ahead on this project. The balcony has been added. That was not a part of the structure how we had it, but it was a part of the original building, so that's why we were able to re-add the balcony. So that's nice. And this one is 804 Drayton. So we were just talking about 808 Drayton. Both of these projects have that's what I was talking about, corporate housing. So when the film studios come in or higher end execs, this is what we're aiming this at. Higher corporate housing. And like I said, being that it's a fractional ownership, this has a lower threshold. 808 Drayton has a monthly dividend payment structure. And 804 Drayton is a little structured a little different, but both of them are low as far as the threshold to get into the investment. Again, the numbers, I don't want to get too deep into the numbers, but I will if you want to give me a call afterwards, and my contact info will be at the end. So here's the Hotel Bardot. Like I was saying, they are leasing our parking lot. The picture on the right is our parking lot. And it's directly across. Due to them leasing our parking lot for their valet service, we get the access to their amenities, which we will pass on to our tenants at our place. So we will have the opportunity of a gym and of a pool and all the amenities at the Hotel Bardot for our residents, without actually having to come out of our pocket to build a pool or put a gym on the property. So we have worked out a really nice deal with the Hotel Bardot, and Hotel Bardot is in the realm of what the Ritz-Carlton would do. Really high end, really nice. If you saw one of my last webinars, I was actually in the Hotel Bardot and I shot it. And I was just in there over the weekend. Really nice courtyard with the pool in it and everything. The amenities are awesome. This is what it makes actually a year. Just the parking lot alone, we're looking at $250,000 a year and them leasing it. So like I said, we're cash flowing as we speak. You go into Savannah right now, there's signs all in our parking lot reserved for Hotel Bardot Valet. So that's already cash flowing money in pocket. And this part of it, the parking lot comes with the investments, 808 and 804 Drayton. So that's a beauty of it as well. This one is 804 Drayton. As you see, we have the air conditioner going in. Central AC was not a part of this historical mansion, so we put the central AC ducts already in, and we are ready to continue. I think they're going in this month. And this is what we plan to convert it on. These are some mock designs. We're going to go super high end, everything high end, smart house, smart TV, everything extremely high end in these houses. The 804 Drayton, we have 8 1 bed, 1 bath, but I believe it sleeps 4, just with rollouts. I mean, not rollouts, the couch converts. So corporate housing, this is going to be a really beautiful thing. And it's in a prime location, so you can't really beat it as far as location goes. If you want to talk about anything, that's pretty much all I have. I just went over it pretty quickly. If you want to talk about the 2 historical projects that we have, or get yourself a fix and flip of your own, I'll be glad to take questions now, or you can feel free to email me or call me or even text me. I'm available by phone or email, and here's my contact info.
All right, perfect. Thanks for the presentation, Dylan.
Absolutely.
As Dylan said, now's a great time for questions. If anybody has them, we'll wait a few seconds for anybody to type them in now. If not, we'll wrap it up now. But yeah, a lot of information. I'm sure a bunch of people have some good questions. So let's see if anybody wants to type them or take them offline.
Sure. Yep. And like I said, I'm available. I'm in and out of a few meetings today, but I'm available today to get on the phone call or just screenshot my information and shoot me a text and set up a time and we can get one-on-one and just kind of go over in more details, any questions you guys have.
Perfect. I think that's the route we're gonna go, seeing as how it doesn't look like any questions came in yet. And if anybody's watching this recording in the future, please do the same. If you have any questions about self-directed IRAs, please feel free to contact Camaplan at any time. We're always happy to help. And once more, I'd like to thank you, Dylan, for the presentation and everybody who joined today and lent their time to receive that information. So I hope you and everybody else has a great rest of their day.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, William.
Thank you. Take care.